How's it going, Badgers? I hope everybody had a great New Year and a great holiday break. I'm Justin Bregman,
I'm Zach Engel.
and welcome to Badgers Den Breakdown, where today we're going to be talking about the Brock men's hockey team. And we start today off with some very sad news to report as Brock third-year defenseman Milan Doczy has been diagnosed with a form of melanoma skin cancer. Doczy, who came over from Slin, Czech Republic, to play for the Owen Sound Attack in 2007. He then played there for 3 seasons and ever since has been a part of the Brock University family. And due to the fact that he is from out of town, his insurance does not cover the treatment needed for this terrible disease. So the Brock University community, the Niagara community, as well as Owen Sound have all come together to create a campaign called Do It for Doczy. And with more information on how to donate, you can see below. And Zach, I'm sure you can speak for the two of us here. Doczy, a great player on the ice, and he'll be fighting just as hard off of it.
Yeah, just a tremendous competitor every time he laces up those skates. Obviously, coming over from overseas just to play in Canada shows how much he loves the game, and obviously such a terrible tragedy that's happened. But you know the way he competes and the way he holds himself, he's going to fight right through this, and he's going to come back stronger. And we really hope that everybody can help support this great foundation and help him be able to get this surgery, remove this cancer, and allow him to come back and be a stronger player on and off the ice. I know everybody in the arena misses him, all the fans. It's just a terrible loss, but he'll be coming back stronger.
Absolutely. And let's switch over now to this Brock men's hockey team. They lose their first game after the New Year. Maybe it was that New Year's hangover. They lose 4-0 to the hands of the University of Toronto Varsity Blues. Now their record is 8-8-1 on the season. But is the offense the biggest problem right now, just scoring 2.8 goals, 2.82 goals per game right now?
Yeah, and I mean, we spoke with head coach Murray Nystrom in the preseason and outlined what it would take for the Badgers to have more success this season. And he said, you know, the magic goal we want to go is to score 4 goals. If we score 4 goals in this league, we'll feel pretty good about our chances. But as you just said, just 2.8 per game, that's well below that mark, and it hasn't been cutting it. The Badgers sitting at 500 at this point. They have a lot of work cut out for them. They are in a playoff spot, and they have a 6-point cushion ahead of the 9th spot. But there's still a lot of hockey to be played, and we've seen bigger swings before, so they've got to figure out a way to get that done so they not only can enter this playoffs, but make a deeper run, because that's the goal for this team before the season started.
No question about it. 10 games left between now and that reading week break. And you speak about the offense. Let's switch to the other side now. We got the goaltending. 3 goaltenders have played in at least 1 game so far this season for the Brock Badgers. Clint Windsor has been getting the bulk of the action as of late, and Adrian Volpe still, I guess, out with that groin injury to this point. Hasn't been in the lineup for now over a month. Is this goaltending tandem right now of Volpe and Windsor and maybe even a little bit of Cormier, is that enough to make this team an elite team to go down the stretch into the playoffs?
I mean, we saw last year, it's just about the hot hand. Last year, Cormier stepped up when the top 2 guys in McGrath and Volpe got hurt. He stepped up and led that team right to the playoffs. He was playing very well. But at the end of the day, right now, none of those goaltenders have a sub 3.3 goals against average. And when you pair that with a team that's scoring under 3 goals a game, it's not a recipe for success that you'd like, especially if you're head coach Murray Nystrom, a team that really, they need those 4 goals because they don't have that as much talent on offense as another team, but rather they've got such a good group of guys who play well together. And you look at that goaltending, and it's just something that you look, all right, all these guys have the ability to carry this team, but which one's going to step up? Because so far this season, none of them have. And as you mentioned, Clint Windsor getting a lot of the majority of the starts, and he's just a rookie, so it's hard to rely on that. Volpe is obviously still hurt. We'll see what happens when he comes back, but none of these goalies have put up fantastic numbers, and we're now into the second half of the season where it matters most, and we're going to see which goalies are going to step up.
Yeah, Real Cormier, the third string goalie of that 3 goalie tandem, the guy that has the most playoff experience right now, so not a lot of experience for these Badger goaltenders. And as we talk now a little bit about the upcoming schedule and their standings here. Badgers right now in 5th place, but with that loss to the Varsity Blues 4-0, they're starting to distance themselves from getting a home playoff game now, and their schedule isn't too promising down the stretch.
Yeah, I mean, you look at it, they do have 6 of their last 10 games at home, but a lot of these games are against tough opponents. Half of these are against teams that are ahead of them in the standings. So if the Badgers want to prove that they're a contender rather than the pretender, they've got to win at least 3 of those games and then some in order to propel themselves into the 4th seed and maybe have an opportunity to host the playoff round, as you just said. But the scheduling's tough. We mentioned this with Coach Murray Nystrom. He said earlier in the year when they played a lot of out-of-conference games, those were important to win because if you lose those games, other teams in your own division won't pick up points, but if you win those games, you're the only team picking up those points. So it's a big boost for your team. They didn't do as well as they hoped in that stretch, And now they have an opportunity to play a lot of teams in their division where they're going to have to win those games because it's 4-point swings in each one of those games. And 6 points separates right now 5th place and 9th place. So it's very jam-packed, and there's still quite a bit of games to play. So the Badgers still have their work cut out for them.
Yeah, it seems like there's a ton of parity in this league every single year in the OUA West. The Badgers will be back on home ice. You can see them this Friday and Saturday night, both games at 7 p.m. at the Seymour Hanna Center. They'll be taking on the UOIT Ridgebacks on Friday, followed by the Queens Golden Gales on Saturday. If you can't make it to either game, of course, we'll have it right for you on OUA.TV with pregame starting around 6:45 p.m. For Zach Engel, I'm Justin Bregman. This has been a presentation of Badgers Den Breakdown.